All right, Pisces, welcome to your July of 2015 horoscope. My name is Athen. So this month, right at the beginning of the month, on the 1st, we have a full moon in your 10th house of work and career and everything on that public level. Anything over the past 6 months you've been working on in relation to career and stuff can be a culmination point of that, a fruition in many ways. Also, things relating to your 3rd house, which is where you had the new moon last month, can be a culmination of those matters as well, which is, of course, the communications and speaking and communicating and thought patterns as well with the 3rd house. So anything relating to that high point, and this is always an observational point too, where the energies are highest, and we can really see and really utilize that energy towards, in this sense, your 10th house, which has been going through some major changes and transformations with Pluto in that 10th house. So here the full moon is happening within 5 degrees of Pluto, emphasizing that these changes at the career front are going to become illuminated, and you can certainly work with that. And Pluto is a big player this month. He's going to be opposing up to a lot of these fast-moving planets as they transit across your 4th house here. So whatever these transformations are, the best advice I can give you is having the non-attached perspective and willingness to change in the career side of things, because there are changes happening that are greater than ourselves from our understanding of the ego, you might say, and allowing the changes and ebb and flows to happen is exactly what we want to do during this time. So an awareness of that, a very transformative full moon, but the more open we are to change, the more it will flow. And this is also going to be involving this 4th house, which is going to be highly activated for you, where you're also going to have some new beginnings in the middle of the month relating to home and family. So this is the classic example of balancing both the career and work side of things with the home and family, or past and emotional side of things, domestic life, and changes there. There's going to be some changes there. So the more open and willingness you are to have change there and welcoming it, then this can be a very positively powerful time for you. Now, I think at the beginning on the 1st, we're going to all be very optimistic, at least to a degree. Venus is going to be conjoining up to Jupiter around this time. So there are some opportunities coming in, particularly relating to your 5th house, which is, of course, creativity, self-expression, fun, joyfulness, playfulness, all of this lighthearted energy where you've had a lot of opportunities to perhaps create or express yourself with Jupiter there. Now being contacted by Venus, really emphasizing the energy. You're really enjoying it. I think you have perhaps been enjoying these 5th house matters, or can be. Last month and this month, at least for the first half, while she's still there. But in either case, perhaps some opportunities coming in from that, maybe some communication opportunities, maybe opportunities to speak or learn, because Venus naturally rules your 3rd house, and to do some positive transformations, because Venus also rules your 8th house as well. And I think you might be feeling quite optimistic, or at least feeling good about the work side of things too, because Jupiter does naturally rule that 10th house of yours. Conjoining Venus can mean you can certainly enjoy that. So that's right at the beginning on the 1st. Then on the 5th and 6th, we've got the Sun then opposing up to that Pluto, the fast-moving planet here, bringing in the emphasis with your self-expression. One thing I want to say is that the Sun and Mars are at the bottom of the chart, so you might notice that your energy levels have been perhaps a little bit lower relatively over the past couple months. Depends on your personal chart, of course. But here, they're on the up and up, so I think as the month unfolds, you'll gain more and more of this energy, especially over the coming months. And opposing up to Pluto, just remember, especially in opposition from Mars, I've been saying this for all the signs, is having that non-attachment. Because Mars is very much about the ego. Ego drives what we want, our goals. He's at the bottom of the chart where he doesn't like to be. He's not at his full potential. So if you're feeling like you're trying to move hard, trying to work real hard, well, maybe it's because, and if you're finding that it's not flowing, maybe it's because that energy right now needs to be utilized in the emotional side of things, in the domestic home side of things. And if you do that, then the Mars and Sun energy can certainly be unlocked in a very positive way. Because, again, these aren't natural placements for them, but if you work at the home, family, and stuff in that assertive and expressive way, balanced, of course, then you are in flow with this energy. Now with that Pluto, again, just be willing to make whatever changes, speak the truth, communicate the truth relating to home and family, see the truth, and whatever changes are available will come to you, and then be willing to make whatever changes are necessary. So that's going to be 5th and 6th, and at that same time, Saturn dips back into your 8th house of transformation, where he has been the past 3 years up until the end of last year when he went into your 9th. So now he's going retrograde back into your 8th, which usually means some sort of lesson or understanding or redoing something relating to the deeper side of things, your bonds, your connections, your shared resources, things like this, that if you look to the past few years, you'll get a good indication of perhaps what this might be for you. But getting serious maybe too with the deeper relationships, whatever it might be, and that'll be something that you can rework and kind of work on. It's a subtle energy this month, but certainly available for the next few months as well. Mercury then goes into that fourth house to join up with the Sun and Mars here on the 8th. And so more attention here now, conscious energy in relation to home and family. It's actually in dignity, Mercury is, so he likes to be in Gemini. So here, thinking about communicating, working, Mercury is the day-to-day environment, improving home and family stuff, again, in that constructive way, is certainly on the table this month. The new moon happens on the 15th in that fourth house, further signifying those new beginnings. There are some new things shaping up around home and family, at least perspectives, and so reflecting on that around the 15th can certainly be a good good utilization of this energy as it starts to gain momentum. And then in the coming days, you'll be able to really put that energy into home, family, past, anything on that level. And those things, those intentions can certainly come to a culmination in about 2 weeks, and then also in 6 months. Venus, changing signs. She goes into your 6th house, which is all about the routine, the day-to-day activities. So really enjoy that. The first half of the month was really enjoying the self-expression, creativity, and stuff like that. Now in the 6th is perhaps developing this creativity into a craft, into a work, enjoying the work life, the day-to-day life, enjoying health. And she's going to go retrograde here on the 25th and 26th. So there are some things to learn about that, but enjoy it nonetheless for the second half of the month. 15th as well, Mercury conjoins up to Mars here in that 4th house, again emphasizing this. And while this happens, they are going to be opposing up to Pluto, almost right when they go conjunct. So, So what that's signifying is that perhaps there are some things that need to be transformed with the financial side of things, with Mars naturally ruling your 2nd, perhaps with your assertiveness, which is natural for Mars, perhaps with the expansive or traveling side of things, Mars ruling your 9th, and then also with the mercurial things, which is the home and family and relationships. So a lot of areas being activated here, and the more willing you are to have change just generally in your life, like I've been saying, especially on the emotional side of things, then that's a good way to work with this. And this can be where we're very direct and very assertive with our communication. So again, coming from compassion, which is Pluto, coming from, the heart center is where we really want to be this month with all this opposition up to Pluto. Now on the 22nd, 23rd, the Sun is going to be conjoining up to Mercury here. And when they do, they shift signs. They go into your 5th house. So there's this unfolding of energy from your 4th to your 5th this month. And right when they go conjunct, they go into the 5th, which is interesting. So here, and it's a subtle energy, but it's around this time period, 22nd, 23rd. Here, our communications are very passionate. I think we're very excited. Maybe something relating to these opportunities that came in from the 5th house from Jupiter and Venus recently, or maybe whatever it is. Lots of expression, lots of excitement, and lots of thinking about the creative, enjoyment. This is playfulness. It also rules children, creativity, small business, anything relating to our creations. So enjoying that, and this is where the new moon is going to be taking place next month. So there can certainly be some new beginnings around that. But for this month, enjoying it and thinking about it, and perhaps reworking it, can be a good way to work with Mercury and the Sun in the 5th house. Now, on the 25th and 26th, we have 2 retrogrades going back to back. One is Venus, and then almost at the same time, Venus goes retrograde, Uranus goes retrograde in your 1st house. So this 1st house energy has been very personal for you. Uranus there has been, over the past many years, helping you guys really be yourself, and even if it's different, quirky, changing it up, changing up your appearance sometimes, but really just allowing yourself to be the way you are, and giving and contributing, which is also Uranus. And this was very transformative this year because that's where we had the eclipse energy around March. So that newfound sense of freedom that perhaps since then that you've been gaining with yourself, with your identity, now rethinking that, which happens once every year. Uranus retrograde. So just think over the next 6 months about your goals, your drives, where you're headed, and perhaps things relating to your self-image as well. Now, Venus, like I said, there are some things to learn about your enjoyment too. the everyday experience, maybe the enjoyment of your work, the enjoyment of your crafts, things like this, that you can certainly reflect on from the 25th and 26th and into next month. On the 31st, we've got the second full moon high energy time. The high energy times this month are at the beginning and the end of the month. And this is relating to your 11th house. So this is the groups, humanitarian things, satisfaction from work, enjoyment from work, income from work as well. It's also the 11th house. So it's always nice to have a full moon there. So you're seeing the illumination. You're seeing perhaps some culminations over the past 6 months relating to those 11th house matters, which is really nice. So seeing that and putting energy into that part of your chart, groups, friends, giving, contributing, and income from work would be a really good way to work with this energy. This can also be a culmination for any new beginnings that you did start off on, short-term new beginnings relating to the 4th house from the middle of the month on the 15th. So Pisces, this was a general look. All in all, what I would say is the highlight is definitely on your 4th house at the beginning of the month, where the energies are lower. It's more about the domestic side of things, remembering the compassion and non-attachment relating to that. But there are some things culminating around work at the beginning of the month, which is nice. Then the planets go into the 5th house relating to your creativity and fun and joy, where you can certainly have a lot of this excitement, which has been a lot of opportunities for you with Jupiter. And obviously Uranus, I think, is going to be an important role too with your guys' 1st house, remembering to learn more about yourself this month, particularly towards the end, about freedom, about the importance of that, maybe in relationships as well, and being yourself. So Pisces, I hope you have a nice month. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com, or if you'd like a personal session, and I'll see you all next time.